welcome to episode 6 of SPADS. We are at various places in the country. Mr. Goble looks like he's in Alcatraz. Christmas and family arrangements were spread about, so we're back on Zoom. Good Christmas, boys.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you. Good, thanks.
I'll say yes. I don't know whether you can hear me or not. But
we can at the moment. So the Premier League's back, finally. Proper football. None of that World Cup in December crap that we've had over the last thing with Southgate falling short as normal. Just pleased to be back. Liverpool, good start for Liverpool, Dave.
Yeah, good solid start. You know, it's a game which we should be beating. Should be beating Villa, but you know, new manager with them, Emery. You know, it could have been a tricky game. Last time we played there, wasn't it? I think we lost 7-2, so it wasn't exactly a good omen. But yeah, we've done all right. Happy days. Can't complain.
Who was the manager when you lost 7-2? Was it Dean Smith?
Yeah, I think it was.
Jurgen Klopp.
Well, I guess that. For Villa.
Yeah, it was Dean Smith. Yeah.
He's been sacked from Norwich today, isn't he?
He's been sacked from Norwich, isn't he?
Yeah. Does anyone know why that is? I mean, they're fifth in the table, Norwich. I don't think they're doing too bad.
Didn't he say something about the fans about a week ago or something? He sort of said something. It sounded like he was having a bit of a dig at the fans, and I think it was probably the final straw. So he says he didn't mean it that way, but I think it come across that the fans weren't helping or something. So, you know, once you start feeling like the fans, you ain't going to get anywhere, are you?
No, that's it. Yeah, you definitely need fans behind you.
Yeah.
So I didn't think they were doing too bad. I was quite surprised to see him go out and, obviously, like I said, it didn't seem too bad. Obviously, it kicked off yesterday. Brentford Spurs was the first game in the Premier League back. Amazing start for Brentford. Spurs looked like they weren't any team whatsoever, and then
come back again.
Always like
sort of been
15-minute salvo.
Yeah, it's been like the story of their season, hasn't it? You know, constantly conceding first goal, you know, poor first half, and then second half playing catch up and grinding out the result. You know, if they can get away with that, we should be all right. You know, it's
I think they're sorry, Dave, but their fans kind of, even the Spurs fans, I think, we might be down in the first half, we'll be right in the second half. And that's what they're kind of thinking at the minute, aren't they? Obviously, you can't afford to do that against all the teams, but at the minute, they're kind of like, we'll be right in the second half. But it's crazy that they go behind all the time, don't they, first half?
It's the last five games they've been behind. Goble, you're on mute somehow. We can't hear you if you're talking. But the last 5 games, Spurs have gone behind, first of all, which is a crazy stat for Spurs. Do we think Conte's doing a good job there?
I don't know. They're grinding out results, getting the odd result here and there, but they're not performing as well as they should do. I think he needs to get rid of a few players like Dyer. How awful has he been?
That shin for the corner for the goal was unbelievable.
Yeah,
he's not a centre back though, is he?
No, but he's a footballer. You'd expect him to
he's not a centre back. So.
You know, the thing is, you know, as like Kev said, he's a footballer. Doesn't matter if you play centre back, midfield, forward. You should be able to kick the ball. It's your profession. You know, you're a photocopy engineer.
That's your job.
It's your job.
But no, you're right. You're right in terms of that. Like, it's crazy. I mean, it can happen to the best of us, but I'd expect that from the dog and duck on a Sunday. Do you know what I mean? Like, that Eric Dyer sort of clearance.
Yeah. That's proper like pub football. It's awful.
Yeah, and the goal was even funnier.
Do you not think with the Spurs, with Conte, I mean, would another manager do any better with that team? I mean, he's gradually got some of his players in there. Obviously, the 2 that he got from Juventus. I mean, one of them is it Bakura or whatever his name is. He's a bit injured. Yeah, he's had a few injuries. Obviously, Kulusevski's a good player. Do you not think he's still? Obviously, we'd all want more money than what what gets spent. But do you not think he's still got that team that's just been the same team for so long, like Pochettino?
I think it comes from more of above with Spurs, doesn't it? Definitely, like you're about to say. I think it's definitely more from above than what's on the field, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Eric Dyer in defence, for God's sake. I'm not saying he's not a good defender, but nothing's changed.
Spurs, United have got Luke Shaw at centre back today, so I don't know.
He's a big target, though, isn't he? A bit round, so struggle to get around him.
But there was some Spurs fans on Twitter yesterday calling for Poch to come back. I mean,
Pochettino is not going to do any better than Conte with that team.
No.
Not a chance.
But he's going to change the football style, and I bet that's what's annoying the fans.
Yeah,
100%. You know, it's negative football, Conte. You know, they've got a lot of attacking players, but he sets up to play defensive football, bring teams onto him, and try and get them on the counter. And you know, they can't do it. They haven't got the defensive players to be able to sit back and take the pressure and then get them. You know, they can't do it.
It's like Southgate with an accent, isn't he?
Yeah, basically,
It's the same sort of thing, doesn't he? Set up defensively with hello, Una. Sets up defensively to go from there. But another one, one of the other games, obviously, Palace Fulham. Pretty close game first until Palace got two people sent off.
Someone laughed then.
So I think 34th minute and the 57th minute. I didn't actually see them, to be fair. Did anyone see that game? I didn't even see the...
No, I was seeing the highlights. I was surprised with that. I mean, I didn't expect Palace to just go and walk over Fulham, because Fulham are, I don't know, strange team. They're either on it or they're not. But I don't know. I've just thought that Crystal Palace would beat them, because let's be honest, Palace have been quite decent this season.
Yeah, they've done a good job with them. Yeah, they're pretty solid. And they do that sort of thing where Palace will go and beat a Liverpool or Arsenal and then go and lose to a Fulham. That's very much the season of Palace and what they're doing. But he's done a good job. But when
have they done anything over the break? Have they played all over the break?
Are they what? Sorry, mate.
Have they played over the break at all? Do we know?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think a lot of teams have played. Maybe not overly competitive games, but you know, something behind closed doors or something like that. But, you know, they've done all right potentially. I would have thought, but. Yeah, you know, like I say, Vieira's got them playing really nice football at times, but consistency is key, you know, and that's what they haven't got. And potentially, they could be, you know, they should be top 10 every season at the moment, I reckon, with what they've got there.
You haven't given yourself a chance, though, when you go down to 9 men. You don't see too many 2 red cards in one game, do you?
No.
I mean, you don't give yourself the best of chance going down to 9 men, even against the likes of Fulham, no disrespect to Fulham.
Were they actually legitimate red cards, were they? I take it they were...
I haven't seen them, to be fair. I must admit, I didn't see I haven't had a chance to look at the highlights just because obviously Christmas and being out, etc., etc. But it'd be interesting to see what happens now. We're a Palace in the league now. I think they're 11th at the moment. Fulham and 9th. So it's I mean, it's been a solid season for them. You wouldn't expect Palace or Fulham to be.
No, I think they'll both be fine, wouldn't they?
They're at. Yeah, they're sort
of they're mid-table, aren't they?
Yeah,
upper to mid-table.
We ran a poll. We ran a post yesterday about who we thought the first manager in 2023 was to be sacked. One of those that seems to be the bookie's favourite is Fat Frank. Frank Lampard at Everton. Again, they fell a 2-1 loss at home to Wolves. Do we think the writing's on the wall for Fat Frank?
I think so. Well, yeah. I mean, I picked Brendan Rodgers, but I mean, are they lost 5 now? The last 5 games.
They're not doing well. That's for sure. They've never really done well since he came in. I think the first few games they did okay, didn't they?
I think it's a wrong choice.
Yeah.
Personally, I think when he come in, I don't think it's Frank's fault. I think unfortunately, they needed someone like Big Sam again, because they needed to be rescued. And unfortunately for Frank, I know in a way, Frank kind of needed to be with them and get them relegated, not get them relegated, but be relegated to the Championship and start from there and then work his way up. But unfortunately, Everton they've got so much debts, haven't they? Ridiculous debts.
His credentials are interesting, Frank, because he did just okay at Derby and then all of a sudden
went to Chelsea.
Chelsea job, and now he's at Everton, and he didn't do great at Chelsea, and it's a really strange choice of manager, I think. I mean, they sit 17th at the moment, 14 points. I mean, they're only 2 points off the bottom. Southampton at the bottom with 12. But I mean, I think they're in real trouble, Everton, if they don't do something about it.
But old Calvert-Lewin, though, he's not been playing much, has he? You know, last season,
isn't he?
Banging him in for fun.
Yeah, I think
not getting anything.
Say again, Len?
Calvert-Lewin's made of glass, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he has been injured, and that hasn't helped their issues with it. A bad season. But if that Frank go, who would you bring back in? Who would you bring in instead of Frank?
Yeah, Sean Dyche.
But it comes down to the same who's available.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? You've got to have the managers who can come do it. You know, that no one's going to leave a club in the Premier League to go and manage Everton at the moment. Yeah.
Where's Alan Pardew? He always gets banned about it, relegation thing. He's got to be kicking about somewhere, Pardew, hasn't he?
Roy Hodgson.
They could just swap about, couldn't they? Just Frank can go to Leicester, Brendan can go to Everton, just swap them about a bit. Play fantasy football. The
thing is, whoever goes to Everton can't spend any money because they need to recoup so much back.
None of them.
I'm so good at watching this game as well as talk to you boys. Man United are 1-0 up. Rashford scored, by the way.
Apparently straight off the training ground, wasn't it?
No one else is going to score for United. Let's be honest.
No, yeah.
The best players left, isn't he? The greatest of all time.
Because he was a goal machine, wasn't he?
Yeah. he didn't score money from the bench. Talking of Brendan Rodgers, Kev, obviously they fell to another defeat yesterday. Leicester 3-0 home defeat. I mean, Newcastle. I mean, we'll talk about Brendan Rodgers first. We'll talk about Eddie Howe afterwards. A bit of trouble, Leicester, aren't they? Hit a bit hard times. He's suffering a little bit.
Sorry, I just had all my light taken away, boys.
It seems a bit of a pattern. I think we've said it before with Rodgers. He seems to sort of have these couple of sessions done well. I just can't see him turning it around. And I think the players look like they're a little bit like don't really know what to do anymore. You know what I mean? It's just like ticking over. I know he ain't going to probably just quit. Man United are 2-0 up, by the way.
I did just say that about 2 minutes ago, but no one listened.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, okay. Martial.
I just think
2 goals in the blink of an eye.
I just think, to be fair, I think Rodgers is just at a point where he's done what he can now. And obviously, I think they're trying to sort of, hence why they normally sell a player, don't they, in the summer. They always cash in on one, but they didn't this summer because no one bought Maddison for what they wanted. And I think they were expecting to sell Yuri Tillemans, but obviously he's going to be out on a free, probably end up at Arsenal or Liverpool in the summer on a free transfer. Now thinking about it, when you say about Frank, it's like it probably looks writings on the wall for Frank at Everton more than Rodgers. But then I wouldn't be surprised in football because sometimes the manager might say, "Look, I've done what I can," or the God board say, "Look, we need a change." And Everton probably could do with just a fresh face, giving them, the players. To be fair, sometimes that little bounce. Not saying they're going to smash it up the league, but just even survival in the Premiership.
Leicester in an interesting position because they're 13th currently, but they're only on 17 points. They're only 4 points clear of the relegation.
Yeah.
So, they could quite easily get sucked into a relegation battle. They don't want to be involved.
It's a big decision as well, wouldn't it? That'd be a big call to say, look, do we do this? Hopefully we get a few wins from a new manager. But then, I mean, what manager? I mean, would it be just another foreign manager? I don't know. But
I'm available. I've done pretty well on Championship Manager. Mind you, I haven't actually. I don't play Championship Manager at all. So,
Football Manager, mate. Sorry, get it right.
Manager. Well, it's old school, isn't it? Back in the day when I was a kid. But Eddie Howe, 3-0. Obviously, Newcastle are flying up the league now. I mean, Newcastle have the money. We know that. They haven't spent big, but I mean, he's done an incredible job at Newcastle.
Yeah. I think they've struggled to spend big at the moment because of financial fair play, isn't it? I think, because they're only in the Premier League, that they're not getting as much money in as all the other teams, like Champions League, Europe.
But don't you think, though, they're being clever with that? Like, they know, because they could probably spend about 120 million, I think, based on what their sponsorships are, because they haven't got the sponsorships that they want yet. But they're being quite sensible. They're not paying over us. I think you'll see them now and again by not a big player as in they'll go and splash cash, but I think someone, because they're linked with that Enzo Fernandez, the Argentinian. I can see them buying that young player. And I still think someone come in for one of their players. I can't think of his name now. The one that is meant to be their main man. Doesn't play that much.
Fastino Asprilla.
They've been linked with João Felix, haven't they?
Yeah. See, I think there's going to be something. I think they will do it, but I think they're going to be very clever, and I think they're just going to watch what the other teams have done, what Chelsea have done, what Man City have done when they got their money. I think they're going to watch that. But it's nice to watch. It's good to watch, though. To be fair,
I mean,
you know what I mean. I won't say it when they're winning.
I mean, they've done a great job. They're up to second now, so obviously 7 points behind Arsenal, but they've played one more game than Arsenal. But I mean, he's done a great job. It'd be interesting to see if they do any business in January, and whether they look to bring anyone in. But I say they're going great guns. Southampton, Brighton, 3-1 Brighton, another away win. Lots of away wins yesterday, so that was a lot of accumulated stuffed up for people, no doubt. But again, Graham Potter leaving, I thought that might have affected Brighton, but they seem to be kicking on all right.
Doing all right, that manager, isn't he?
Good news for players, haven't they? I think the players want to play football. They enjoy playing for the club, and the manager seems to be doing the right thing with them again. So I think they're going to be there or thereabouts.
The manager said that he's kept the same philosophy that Potter had when he left. So he said, "Why fix something that's not broken?" So
that's it. And then all the players are used to that way. Why not go for it?
And they're playing football. They're up to 7th now, so they're still going really, really well. I'd be interested in contain. Obviously, Southampton, they've slumped to another defeat. They're bottom of the league at the moment. I mean, I think unless they get some turnaround now, they're in trouble, Southampton.
Yeah. I think big call, though.
Hassan Hootel's got to be in that conversation to be got rid of, hasn't he?
He's gone, Lee. He's gone, Lee.
Oh, no, yeah.
Nathan Jones, isn't it? The ex-Luton.
That's what I meant.
But they haven't done it. He hasn't done it since he come in. Since that's what he's gone, is he? They have, like you say, sometimes when you get a new manager in, you get a honeymoon period. Southampton haven't had that at all.
No, they're not sparked, have they?
The old new manager bounce.
Yeah, they haven't had that at all whatsoever, and I think they're in trouble. I think their writing's on the wall. 3-1 at home to Brighton. Look, Brighton are a decent side, but if you're going to try and nick a point here and there, that's the type of games you need to be nicking the points.
100%, yeah.
And for them at 3-1, it's going to be a very difficult season.
Are they going to be able to keep hold of like Ward-Prowse? Because January, we need to get some money because we're probably going to go down. Let's get some money for him. Ship them off, and then they're going to go down. And
imagine someone.
Would you see any of the top 6 players? Who would you see signing it?
Probably because we've only got 17 wingers, so we could probably do with 1 or 2. You know what I mean? So it's. I think he would do a job. I think he could go into one of the top 6. Look, would he make a City? Would he make a Liverpool? Would he make an Arsenal? Not. I could see him at Spurs.
Yeah. I think Spurs would be.
But Conte's got sense and wouldn't buy him.
No, I could see him at Spurs. I could see him at Newcastle.
Let's be honest, though. Does he do a lot? What's Ward-Prowse known for now? Is his free kicks?
Free kick.
Right, he doesn't really do a lot.
No, but is that because he's playing at Southampton?
Yeah.
Who's willing to take that risk for the money that Southampton are going to want for him?
Yeah.
Everton, maybe. Because they got
West Ham. See him at West Ham, maybe.
Yeah, West
Ham. They
ain't
going to spend the money that Southampton wants.
Well, West Ham spent a fortune,
maybe
haven't they?
Southampton are going down. They might have to look at cashing it in. You know what I mean? Because he might want to go. But it'd be interesting to see. But I could see him move.
Or keep hold of him so they keep him up.
Yeah,
so get him back up.
Yeah, it's whether he want to play in the Championship. I think.
I don't think he would. I think if he's got a chance of playing for England, because he's always in the fringe, isn't he? I don't know if he'd play in the Championship. I know he's their captain there. And I reckon if a team like...
Well, going to take a new manager for him to get an England squad.
Yeah.
I don't know, he always gets
Southgate won't have him.
Squad, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he never plays in the tournaments, does he?
No, don't play at all. No. Just a few friendlies here and there.
It'll be a new manager before he gets the tournament under his belt. He's cracking on a bit.
I'm a manager to 2024 now, which we've discussed before. But obviously Liverpool, Villa, we've already talked about. Arsenal, wasn't sure if they were going to kick on with the form before. John Daly will be listening to this. Big Arsenal fan. He was big enough on YouTube about the mighty Arsenal, and he was glad we were talking about Arsenal last week. So shout out to John. But they've found their form.
Enough said about them
in the first half. Obviously West Ham got the goal, and but second half just were too good, really.
Now with Arsenal, realistically, they got to be changed for that title now. To me, as an Arsenal, if you're an Arsenal fan, you don't get top 2, you've got to be disappointed. You've got to be pushing for that title. If you're anything less than top 2, I think, you'll be happy because obviously the start of the season potentially you were going for 4th, and that was it. Now,
get a glove.
Get a glove. Now, got to be in the top 2. They've got to be. If
they don't get that top 1 or 2 spot, it will almost be a disappointing season.
No,
for Arsenal.
If I was Arsenal now, and you had a little bit of money and you think, right, do you know what, we got a chance here, I would go and get that João Felix, right? I'm not saying he's going to make.
They won't pay that much money.
No, but the thing is, right, go and get him on loan, because they need, even if they can get rid of him on loan, right, go and push for it, right? Go and get that João Felix, right? Because I personally think he'd be a little magician in, right? Take the risk for the loan fee, whatever is 8 million for the second half of the season, right? And go and get that other strike. Go and find that other player out there, right? And get 2 additions, but not just not like what Man United are going to get, a loan deal or something that's going to be someone that's 35. Because I think they really could do with just that little push. They don't need a lot. Is he
going to make a difference? Why is he coming out of his contract? You've got to ask yourself.
They've got financial.
Is he going to make a difference?
Who, Felix?
Is he better than what Arsenal have already got?
Yes, 100%. The only reason he's leaving Atletico Madrid is because they got financial fair play, and he's the one that they can cash in on. Basically,
why is he not being snapped up by one of the other big boys then? Why is he coming out? Would he fit at Arsenal? I don't think he'd fit.
Yeah.
I don't think he fits.
He's better than Smith Rowe in the middle, 100%.
But does he? I don't think he fits.
Doesn't start, does he? Smith Rowe doesn't start.
I don't think he fits.
Who plays
in that middle for Arsenal? The one player that has just looked like a different player is Xhaka this year. Turned into an unbelievable player. I mean, he was an absolute fucking cart horse for years. Like, couldn't understand why he was getting.
He was told. When he told by Arteta that he's basically got to now change, if he wants to stay in that team, he's got to change the way he plays, and basically that's. I think
what he's done.
What
he's done is he's moved him forward, hasn't he? So what used to happen is they used to play Xhaka in a defensive midfielder, and he tackles like Paul Scholes. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just can't tackle to save his life. He's played him a little bit more forward, and you see Odegaard yesterday, and that was putting balls through, and Xhaka was a little bit further thing.
You can get away with those tackles, though, can't you? And you're a little bit further forward, you can get away with it because
you tend to tackle less as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you're not relying on him. He's not the last line of defence, so to speak, in front of the thing. So he has done amazing this season. I'm impressed with what Arteta's done. He had a bit of a wobble last season and wasn't great, but this season he seems to have got the players on board. He seems to have brought the right people in. There seems to be a bit of a philosophy there. And as much as it pains me to say it, I do agree with you, Dave. I think you've got to consider him as title challenge.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, now they've done the Christmas break and still come back steaming.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they kick on from here and where they go, because I mean West Ham are a decent side in terms of that. It depends on whether they kick in from that, and they got obviously Jesus is now out for 10 games, isn't he?
Yeah, if they get another big injury, Partey, or Xhaka in that middle of the park, will they struggle? Because they've got a great first 11, but they haven't got the squad depth yet.
Yeah,
it's going to take another season or so for them to get that depth, I think. And then if they get that depth, they should be up there challenging every single season, I think.
Yeah,
they're worried about the Jesus injury, and it just goes to show that it's not going to be a massive issue. That's like Dave said, another one, then they could be a bit above us. So.
Yeah. But then you did see that in the first half with Nketiah up front. They didn't have that many clear-cut chances or ones where you'd think that Jesus might. Nketiah is, although he's a decent player, you wouldn't want him as your full number striker. You know what I mean?
I think he needs game time though. He's not played enough, has he? I think everyone's saying he's gone, but he needs some game time, doesn't he?
Do you not think though? Now Arsenal, where before they'd do it, they'd go on a few run of games over the last few seasons, go on a few run rounds, and then suddenly. But I just think they look so much more solid at the back and midfield. It seems to like they always had attacking players, didn't they? But it seems a bit more. You don't. If you're an Arsenal fan, you're not as nervous when it's coming at the back because. And I mean, let's be honest, they've got Ramsdale in goal. He's a good goalkeeper, and
I think he's average.
No, but for Arsenal, I think he's an improvement for Arsenal.
Yeah,
for Arsenal.
Really? No, see, I think obviously them getting. I thought Martinez is a better goalkeeper.
Yeah, I don't.
Ramsdale.
I don't agree with that. But
he's better distribution with his feet, so probably suits the way Arsenal want to play.
Yeah.
But you look at his saves. Everyone's a worldie, so his positional play is shocking because not every save should be a worldie. You look at Addison. And how often do you see him sprawling across his goal to make a save? Most of the time, it's one step, boom. Even De Gea, he doesn't have to make massive worldies all the time because his positional play is a lot better. Ramsdale is young, but his positional play isn't the greatest. I don't think.
Yeah,
Allison's usually in the centre circle, isn't he?
Well, he goes up as a header, scores a goal.
Yeah, I think Ramsdale's definitely a purchase for the future. But the one thing you're seeing from Arsenal at the moment, you can see they trust Arteta. Whatever he's saying to them, whatever they're doing, you can see everybody is on board, and that's really helped. And you can see that the momentum in the team, because
they're playing as a team as well.
Very much so.
As we keep hearing from all the Arsenal fans, trust the process, that process.
Well, that is boring out a little bit, isn't it? Unfortunately, as much as it pays successful will it from the likes of John.
They're doing well, but I say they normally have a little blip. If they have a blip, it could go wrong. But realistically, like I say, they shouldn't be anywhere below the top two this season now.
No. They've also played. Sorry, Kev. They've also played pretty well against the bigger teams, isn't they, around them, which I think is a big difference this year. Because normally that's where they get a tonking, don't they? Like, they'll go against someone like that and they'll get a tonking and it sort of upsets their rhythm. But this year they've actually held their own.
They have one game this season.
It's not bad going, is it?
Doesn't mean you win the league, though.
That was us, wasn't it? Yeah, United.
So not against a big team then.
That's embarrassing.
Obviously, one of the ones that's up there, obviously in 8th at the moment, maybe not doing as well this season. There should be obviously the Tuchel thing, and obviously Potter coming in. Obviously, Chelsea kick-started their campaign again this season with a 2-0, or today with a 2-0 win over Bournemouth. I haven't seen it.
I think the World Cup's done them a massive favour, I think.
You think?
Yeah. Havertz and that had good seasons and good World Cups, so I think they're going to come on and start.
But Reece James gone off injured again now, hasn't he?
Has he?
Yeah.
Took him off,
he's
been rushed back then, hasn't he?
Well, he's had a long rest, hasn't he? He's had all winter off, and he's come back, and he's
But he was injured just for the World Cup, wasn't he? Got knee injury,
so he's had 4 weeks off. He should be fit and healthy.
4 weeks off. You can't call it off recovering from an injury.
Wow, hang on. You've seen what the professional footballers do? Nothing. They go for a little bit of training, a couple of hours in the morning.
Bit like
massage.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
more like an alarm engineers. No, it's like, but it's these youngsters now, the mentality, we get a little knock, but don't want to carry on playing. Whereas years ago, you got a knock, carried on playing. People would play with broken ribs, broken arm. Now,
everyone's made of glass these days, isn't they?
Yeah, I think there's so much money in it, and there's so much science, and there's so many doctors and that, and etc. So I think it's easy to get like that. But then you always have players that are more susceptible for injuries, and Reece James seems to be one of those. Where do we think Chelsea's going to be? Sitting at 8th at the moment. What's a good season for Chelsea this season?
Anywhere above relegation.
I think they'll finish about 5th or 6th, to be fair. I don't think they'll get top 4.
No, I reckon 8th is about where they're going to finish. About where they are.
It was, they're on the same points as Brighton. So, between potentially 7th, 8th, some of that maybe, it's one of the things, though. A team has a little run, they go on win, 6, 7 games on the bounce. It's great. But
I think when Lampard come in and they bought all those players, they had the season interruption. Where they had that season where they couldn't buy any players, and then the next season they just went out and bought about 7 or 8 players, and they didn't just buy squad rotation players. They bought most of them were first team players, and now they're out of all them players, they're struggling to work out, and it's now it's the third manager that's now trying to work out to get all these in.
2-1.
Is it
2-1?
2-1, is it?
Yeah.
Forest have scored against United.
Yeah.
Oh God.
When Graham Potter went to Chelsea, I thought that was a very good decision by Chelsea. I thought he was a good person to bring in. But do we think he's got the minerals?
I do. I don't think he's got the team. I don't think the boys are there. I think it's very unjointed as a team, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he's got the players that he wants, needs to play his style of football. Again, problem is with Chelsea, they, like you said earlier, Smithy, they buy all the best players they can, and try and make a team out of it.
Yeah,
11 worldies don't make a good team.
No.
Has Bowley bought anybody yet?
Sterling. And the centre back.
Has Bowley bought anyone yet?
Yeah, so you got Sterling, the centre back as well. Who was it?
That was brought under Tuchel, wasn't it?
Potter didn't buy them, no.
Oh yeah, he didn't.
Potter hasn't had a transfer window yet.
No. So they've just got that centre back though, haven't they? I think they're buying one of their centre backs they loaned out, buying him from Lyon or someone. I think.
So we got to give them a couple of windows, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, this that was going to be my next question. You've got a manager. Like, look, we're all fans of top six sides. You got a manager that comes in at a top six side, and we'll say top because it varies from time to time. How long do you give a manager before you've got to start? I
think every manager deserves at least a summer window.
Yeah,
just one window, a summer window.
Well, at least a summer window.
They deserve a season.
Nothing gets done in January, does it? Nothing gets done in January.
No.
Everything needs, and we've got to see where Bowley sits with his wallet in the summer.
Yeah.
I think
to be fair, we probably expected him, and I did probably expect, but we didn't really see that new manager bounce, did we? I think did we see like one game? I think it was their first game. They won like 3-1.
But you're not going to get the new manager bounce when you've had 7 managers in 6 weeks.
No, but you'd expect you
just fed up and they're like, oh, here comes another one. Here comes another one. Here comes another one. They're just fed up with it.
But then I think, do you not think
they've had one or two?
Do you not think with Potter at Chelsea, which I think is right, a sensible choice of manager, but I think it's a different caliber of players now, isn't it? Like there's a lot of probably egos there, and there's a lot of them. Like we said, they've got a massive squad.
Do we think Chelsea will continue this though? Do we think Chelsea will keep this manager cycle?
Oh, that's it. We don't know. Do we? That's it. We're all sitting in the dark here thinking, I don't know. It's the Chelsea way, but it's a new
owner. Are they going to do it? He's got a new owner. Are they going to do it there? I think no.
This is his first window, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got to be sensible.
No, he had the summer, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he had the
summer.
He had the summer. The chairman had the summer.
That was right where the swap was, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
We didn't have a window really, did it?
And then this is the first full window, so to speak. But it's
we'll see if he makes some foolish, ridiculous price signings in January. We'll know it's going to work.
Yeah, I can't see Potter doing that though. I can't see Potter going out, depending on how much.
It's Potter.
It depends on how much control he has over the. Hello, Jackson.
Is Potter going to have any control? That's where we're going to sit. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's the difference.
Well, they've got they've just appointed a sporting director now, haven't they? From Red Bull, from Leipzig. Yeah, they've bought a sporting director in because I think when Bowley took over, he was like trying to be all friends with every chief executive and all the clubs to try and work out transfer dealings and stuff. So
they were trying to get Michael Edwards, weren't they?
Did you just say chief executive?
Chafe.
Chafing.
He likes a bit of chafage.
And to finish up on the Premier League chat in terms of one we haven't talked about is obviously Man United Forest today. Currently sitting at 2-0, Dave.
Lingard, it was goal disallowed, VAR.
Took bloody ages.
Yeah.
Surely not for VAR. Surely not.
Are we?
Where have you been, Lee?
Are we happy with Eric?
Right, with this 3-year-old.
Ten Hag.
I'm always happy with Eric.
Ten Hag, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Fully on board. I think he's doing a good job. I think he's handled the Ronaldo situation pretty well.
Yeah, 80-20. 80-20 at the moment.
And what don't you like?
Him as a person. I don't like it. I don't like
very highly of you.
Well, yeah. So he bloody should. Yeah,
do you not think that's a bit lame?
But he's got that
barrier.
Yeah, he's got that typical Germany Dutchy arrogance, and I'm not a fan. But
they don't give you like they do. They don't give very much out, and if they don't want to talk about something, like no, I'm not even going there.
Yeah. I like you can.
And they've got no sense of humour either. Only the Brits do sense of humour properly, not even the Americans sense of humour.
We got the best sense of humour,
yeah. Yeah, but no, on the whole, I think he's doing a pretty good job. What do we think would be a good season for United then? Let's start with you as a Liverpool fan, but really a closet United fan.
Don't say dickhead.
Nah, good season would be again. I think realistically, I think you got to be challenging for that top four. You know, I think us and you and Spurs will be all three of us challenging for that top four. I think we'll.
You're not getting top four, Dave. It's not happening.
We probably won't, but
What about Newcastle though, Dave? Because they are second at the minute.
Yeah, I think Newcastle will be third. I think they'll get third.
Wow.
Easily.
So what's your prediction then? Give us the top 6 rundown, Dave.
Chelsea, City top, Arsenal second.
Yeah.
Newcastle. I would love to say Liverpool, but I really think that's probably pushing it. I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say United.
Yeah. Go on, Dave.
Liverpool and Spurs.
Okay.
That's what I think. Yeah, I think we'll get fifth.
Give us your top 6 rundown.
I'd probably say Man City to win it. I think Arsenal will just be behind them. I actually think Newcastle might just drop out of the top 4. So I would say Tottenham third. Then I reckon we might get 4th. To be fair,
You've been drinking.
No, I got Coke.
Tottenham third.
Yeah, well they're 4th at the minute. They ain't doing that bad.
No, but
4th in a minute. They've played one more game in you, and only 1 point ahead of you. So you'll go above them.
Only takes them to beat the teams around them one game, and that takes 3 points from the other teams.
Because that's where they're going to struggle with beating teams. They only just about managed to draw with Brentford.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't write Tottenham off, but yeah, I think Liverpool will sort of be near about where they are at the minute. I think
so you're going City, Arsenal, Tottenham.
Yeah, United, Liverpool, and then Chelsea.
Liverpool.
Actually, where's
Tottenham
Newcastle?
finish? If
where's
Tottenham
Newcastle
finish above
come?
United, Kev, I'll give you a £5.
Just a £5. Is that it?
I'll give you straight
Give us your top 6 then.
I'm going to go out and go Arsenal, City, Newcastle, United, Chelsea, Liverpool.
I think Arsenal win it. I think Arsenal are going to hold it on. I don't think City have been...
No, sorry, Liverpool, Chelsea, other way around.
Liverpool, Chelsea. I think Arsenal will hold on. I think this is the season for them. I think they'll potentially hold it on. Second, I think it'll be City. Third, I would say... See, I don't think Newcastle are going to get third necessarily. I think it likely to.
I think they're going to surprise everybody.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think they'll be up there. I think they'll be in the top 4.
They're not scraping a win here and scraping a win there. They're smashing
they're playing well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just
all season.
They've lost one game all season as well.
Yeah, I know.
Against the mighty Liverpool.
Against the mighty Liverpool.
The mighty 8th place Liverpool.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. But it's the best. It's the best league we've had in a while. City have normally run away with it. Liverpool obviously got lucky one season.
It's definitely an interesting season. Brilliant.
And United haven't won.
I wish there was like 3 teams going for it at once, like close to the end. That would be a bit more entertaining. I do obviously like it. It's not just Man City this year, but
it's not going to be a runaway this season, no.
No.
Come on, Campion. What's your top 6 though? You've not.
Well, yeah. So I said I think Arsenal will stay top. I think City will be second. I think United will get third. I think Newcastle will get 4th. I think Liverpool will get 5th. And
can you imagine that?
You've got to say Chelsea. But I think Brighton could sneak in there at the last minute.
Oh, you forget that, Brighton,
if you had it where Tottenham, Liverpool, and Chelsea didn't make the Champions League.
Hilarious.
Can you imagine Newcastle in European football?
Yeah.
The City would go mental.
No, they'd have a good following, wouldn't they? They'll do well. Great fan base.
So long as United finish above Liverpool, that's all that really matters to this podcast.
It will happen.
That's the important thing.
If it doesn't happen, then United have been poor. 4 points ahead of us. We are playing our worst football for the last 5 years. Yeah, if you don't beat us,
it's just a poor start, wasn't it? I think you'll do all right from now on in. I think the start's let down.
The start has let us down, but again, we still look shaky at the back. I just think midfield is our problem. 100%. We need.
Think you'll find someone in January day for midfield?
But you say Mane, Lee. All right. What does Mane give us? He scores goals.
Well,
have we scored
a Premier League title, a European title?
But
what more do you want?
One player. No. Mane.
Well, who else has gone that mattered? Not Ronaldo, because he didn't really do anything.
Ronaldo, hang on. Didn't he score the 2 goals in the semi-final?
It's the only game he played, though, wasn't it?
And he scored the goal in the final as well, didn't he? No, it was a brilliant
Talking of one player, obviously Liverpool announced last night that obviously they've now signed a pre-agreement for Gakpo. Is it Gakpo?
Yeah, it's going to be a Premier League flop. It's going to be
another one. We like doing them at the moment, don't we?
What do we think, Dave, of that? Good side. I think it's great business for Liverpool. I think they've moved very quickly. That's United of old. That's the Fergie of old, where you didn't really used to hear about. All of a sudden, it'd come out, it was done and dusted. That's Fergie time. That
great business for anyone at that money.
Yeah. It's a
Don't care who you are.
Yeah.
You know, he's had a good World Cup. Hopefully,
is he going to perform?
Yeah. You know, he's all his stats in the Dutch league. He's number 1 bar 1, I think he is. So you know, it's got good pedigree. But again,
what do we say about the Dutch league? What are we saying? Is it a good league? Is it a good league to be getting stats in?
I think it's 50-50, isn't it?
It's as good as the Spanish.
I don't know.
The Spanish, as good as the French league. You know, where Messi plays. You know, Messi. You know, awful player.
Is that the sort of caliber we're talking? Because I don't follow the Dutch league, so I don't know.
Again, you know, 2 or 3 good teams.
It's all relative, though. You can only be as good as the league you're in, right? So you can only be the top of the league you're in. You can only be the top of the stats league you're in. He's done that. And at that money, even if he is a flop, you don't care if he's a flop if he costs that money.
Yeah.
If he costs,
maybe that's why he's the money he is, because
and he becomes a flop.
He did all right in the World Cup, though, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's young enough, and Klopp does bring players on. So.
Dave, do you think with him coming in, one obviously because Diaz got injured and that's sort of his position, do you not think that might help Nunes? Because I mess around saying that Nunes is pony. He's not pony. He's just unfortunately he's getting the opportunities, and his build up play is great. But do you not think Gakpo could come in and take that limelight a little bit off of him?
He could do, and give him a rest as well. Because at the moment Nunes has been thrown in at the deep end to straighten the team. I don't think that was the plan at all. The plan was probably to bring him on last half an hour with his pace, unpredictability.
Yeah.
But he's been now, because of Jota, Diaz injuries, he's had to come and play straight away. And I don't think he's up to this. He looks a good raw player, but he just needs that little bit more time, I think, to settle in.
He's young, though, isn't he? He's a young player.
Klopp hasn't got the time, is he? Because he's too busy battling and fighting to try and get the boys fit. He has got to try and get somewhere in the league. So it's like everything's just a bit of a. Been a bit of a messy season for Liverpool.
He's missing a handful of chances. Okay, but to me, you don't mind too much because he's getting in the right positions. He's getting there. If he wasn't getting there, positions, he wouldn't. He'd be awful. But he's getting there. So eventually, 1 or 2 goals. Hopefully, it will just carry on going.
Talking of things, Andy Cole used to be like that when he comes to United. He used to miss fucking shed loads of chances, and all of a sudden it just started clicking, and him and Dwight York. It was brilliant. So it is a confidence thing, isn't it?
Timo Werner did the same, but he's still doing
it. He's left now and gone back and scoring goals in Germany.
You're right, you'd rather him being in positions and miss than in no position. So that's the
game yesterday. He didn't get man of the match, but if you watched his actual team play, his work rate, everything like that, he probably should have got man of the match. He was running off the ball. His assists, he can't fault him for that. He just needs to learn to hit that target.
Is your winger? What's the one you got from Wolves?
Jota, he's injured as well.
Is he injured still?
Yeah, they're both. Yeah,
he didn't go World Cup, did he?
No,
that's
they're long-term injuries for Diaz and Jota. Hence why Nunes is playing more than he should do. I think.
Yeah.
So we've got the Premier League tomorrow. We've got Leeds, Man City tomorrow. We're assuming Man City will win for Man City, even though it's at Leeds.
Yeah, we're going to see, aren't we? There's been a lot of World Cup players in there, that's also.
Yeah.
But you look at City against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. They played really well. They're big guys. De Bruyne looked a completely different player. He looked like he could play football. Whereas for Belgium, he doesn't look like he can play. It's so I think City should roll.
You got to look at the team for that. You got to look at the team.
Leeds, good team.
In terms of other sports, obviously with Christmas there hasn't been an awful lot going on. Not much cricket, not much boxing, etc. And even with our own golf boys, we haven't played because obviously Christmas was on a Sunday.
I played yesterday.
Oh, you did?
If it's any consolation, we were stood on the first at 7 minutes past 9 in the hail with umbrellas going. Should we just go and play at the sim? Should we go to the sim?
Did you
Man's
play?
Day team. It was. I played all right. It was so wet. Just the course up here is so wet.
Yeah.
It was all right. Played some decent shots. Driver was
Shoot.
still out to in, out to in, out to in. Shocking.
Really? You never seem to do that.
It's just shocking.
How did you get on the other day? Dave, didn't you play the other day? Just do front nine?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, what did Lee shoot?
Oh, sorry.
96.
Okay.
Right. Good. Yeah.
Not your best, not your worst.
Yeah, it's just honestly, see the course. To be lucky, I should have taken some armbands.
Yeah. That's been wet. Yeah.
I rented a trolley and he didn't put winter wheels on it. I felt like a drift racer.
Carry you lazy bastard.
Back out the green. Dave, Christmas Eve, you got out and got a front nine in.
Yeah, front nine.
You played with a new
Another
fella.
member.
I hope you introduced him to the SPADS.
He got 96 as well.
Yeah.
And what did I only played 9. What did I get?
96.
Hang on a minute. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I
It's
didn't.
95.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. No, I got 49. So yeah, okay.
It's not bad front nine at Chalgrove.
But
Chalgrove,
I did have a disaster. I pulled my driver out the bag and it's broken. So I didn't get one chance of driver. So I ended up.
That's right. Sophie said you can buy a new one. You're right.
Yeah, that's it. Some free wood every single tee shot.
And how did you play that?
Dave?
Not bad. It was all right. I was probably hitting them, probably only 10, 15 yards short of my driver. So hopefully I can.
Who did you play with, Dave?
A guy called Marshall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think his handicap was about 21, 22.
He didn't have his cap on backwards and have a microphone, did it? It wasn't Mavis.
No, it wasn't. No, Shim Slade.
He did have some mates called Rocky, Rubble, and Zuma, did he?
All right, boys. Well, next week we'll be back in the studio. So we'll be back off of Zoom. So we're back together, getting the old band back together. I hope you've all had a Christmas with your families. Thank you for joining. It's been difficult while we're all spread around the country at this point. But we will pick it up again next week and we will review everything there. Cheers, boys. Enjoy your
nice one.
Catch you soon.
Happy New Year.
Cheers.
We'll go.